Hi, my name is Teresa Bruni, and I am the healer at Less Fear, More Flow. I am on a mission to empower as many lives as possible. And today, I want to talk to you about defining fear and understanding the fight or flight response. So come along with me and let's begin this journey. So, what is fear anyway? Fear is not tangible, you can't touch it, but you certainly can feel it. And we live in a very fearful society, especially after the past few years living under the threat of COVID. Fear is very dangerous for your health. You see, when you're in fear, it's a very low lying emotion and it turns on the fight or flight response. And when that happens, we shut down our immune system and we open ourselves up to becoming ill. So if you're fearful of becoming ill, that's a problem because you're actually creating it. You're actually opening the door for it to happen. So let's talk for a minute about the fight or flight response. This is an innate ability that we have in us. It's part of who we are as human beings, and it's meant to protect us. So the best way to understand it is to think back about cavemen and being fearful of maybe a saber-toothed tiger attacking the village, or even any other type of predator and another human enemy, for example. And what happens is when we feel threatened, we immediately go into fight or flight. When that happens, a whole bunch of things take place in our body, such as our blood flow goes directly to our muscles to give us more strength. Our eyes dilate, we become heightened, and all of this is happening so that we can do one of two things. We can either fight, be prepared to fight, or run away and protect ourselves. All right. So when you're in that fight or flight response, all your energy is being directed at protecting yourself. Now, that may sound like a really good idea, but it's shutting off your immune system, it's shutting off your digestive tract, and there are a whole host of things that are going on. You can simply do a Google search on it and learn more about the fight or flight response. Unfortunately, in today's world, the fight or flight response gets turned on even when it's not needed, because again, we live in a very, very stressful world. One of the biggest problems that we have in our society today is social media and regular media, the news, and all of the information that's pushed at us at an alarming rate. So I get requests from people quite often who are suffering from anxiety. And I truly believe that anxiety is coming from the tremendous amount of information that's thrown at us. And it's coming from our mobile devices. So we just don't get time to relax as a society. We're busy, we're trying to support ourselves and our families, and we're getting pinged from every angle. You're getting pinged on your desktop computer and your laptop computer and your tablet and your cell phone. And interestingly, I found out from someone recently that the vibration of these pings, especially on your mobile device, is at the same frequency as a stressor. So it only makes sense that if you have all these pings going off, that you're going to be stressed and you're going to be anxious and you're going to suffer from anxiety. So the first thing that I recommend to people who come to me for anxiety is to turn off those pings on your cell phone. Get off of Facebook. Don't measure your life based upon what other people are saying on Facebook, because most of it's not true. Most people present their best and prettiest self on Facebook, when in reality, if you knew them, you would know that they have the same struggles that the rest of us have. All right. So turn those pings off wherever they're coming from: Instagram, Facebook, other social media platforms, Twitter, your email, your text messages. It's a constant pinging. I often describe it as having a 2-year-old tugging at your pant leg for hours. Okay, eventually you're going to crack. and so you just don't get a break. So turn those pings off and find ways to relax, because we do live in a very stressful world right now. There are lots of ways to relax. Today we have the adult coloring books. They became popular within the last 5 years. And so that's a great form of meditation. And so let's talk about meditation for a minute. Meditation is what I call a group word. So when someone tells you that they meditate, it's kind of like saying, I play sports. So the question is, well, what kind of sports do you play? Because there are a whole host of ways that you can meditate. It doesn't necessarily mean you're sitting in a lotus position, chanting. Okay. You can do a walking meditation where you're quietly walking through the woods and just absorbing the beauty of nature. Again, you can get one of those adult coloring books and really focus in on coloring in those images. If you can remember coloring as a child, you would become very focused on the picture that you were coloring. So that is actually a form of meditation. And you can meditate in all sorts of ways. And basically, what you want to do is slow down the mind and clear the mind and clear the chatter. So any way that you can do that. Some people might find it meditative to knit or do needlepoint, anything that you have to focus on that isn't media driven. So the media, again, back to the media is a big culprit in producing the stress that many of us are under. When I was going to the local gym here, our gym, our fitness center is supported by our local hospital. And I couldn't help but notice that the news was on in the gym. There was CNN on one television and Fox Network on another. And I spoke to the gym director because after all, I'm going there to relieve stress, not create more of it. So I don't want to see all of the bad stories that the press pushes at us. And when I spoke to the director, she said to me, she said, I agree with you. I don't like having to put the news on the TVs, but I'm required to. So there you go. Everywhere you go, there are televisions. You walk through the airport, there are televisions. And even though you can't hear them, they have the closed caption going. You go to the gym, there are televisions. You walk into bars and restaurants, there are televisions going all the time. And whether you realize it or not, whether you can hear it, your subconscious mind is absorbing all of that. So stepping away from media is a big part of turning off your fight or flight response. Now, again, when the fight or flight response is turned on, it depletes our immune system and it opens us up to chronic health conditions. So, what's a chronic health condition? Chronic is defined as anything that is consistent and ongoing. And obviously, a health condition has to do with your physical body. So, a chronic health condition could be anything from heart disease and cancer to chronic shoulder pain or high blood pressure. And don't be fooled just because you might be medicating it and you feel as though it's under control, a condition such as high blood pressure or diabetes. You still have a chronic health condition. It's just being monitored. That's not actually the right word. It's just being stabilized, more than likely by pharmaceuticals. And so what we really want to do, we want to get to the root of the problem, and so that you can stop taking those pharmaceuticals. Again, my goal in life is to create empowered patients. And when we get caught up in our medical system, sometimes great things happen. Medical science saves lives every single day. And sometimes not so great things happen. I know for me, right before I became chronically ill, part of the reason was because the doctor who was treating me kept me on antibiotics for a long, long time. And I didn't know then that those antibiotics were depleting my immune system. There's a lot to be said for gut health these days. We've learned in the past 10 years that our gut is full of good bacteria that actually helps to boost our immune system and provide mental clarity. So if you're taking antibiotics, your gut biome is getting destroyed. And so anytime you take antibiotics, you want to be able to introduce a good biome back into your gut and get your gut back on track. So in my case, back to my story, the doctor had kept me on antibiotics for so long that it destroyed my gut biome, which in turn destroyed my immune system. And then I became chronically ill, and I was on full disability for 9 years. What I learned on that journey is that I had to become an empowered patient, and I had to take control of my health. Medical science creates miracles every single day, but they also misdiagnose and mistreat people every single day as well. So it's important to be an empowered patient and to do your homework. Pick out the best doctors possible. Make sure you research the drugs that they're giving you, and look to alternative therapies, and look toward healers like me who can help you to manage all of this. Additionally, if you are chronically ill, I highly recommend that you find a coach or a therapist to help you manage that. Especially if you're on full disability or you're dealing with a diagnosis of cancer or heart disease. You really do need someone to talk to, because that's a lot to handle. Okay. So the key, so how do we turn off the fight or flight response? Because we know we've already discussed how we get there. So how do we turn it off? All right. So we talked about meditation. You can do meditation. You can laugh. Laughter is a great way to turn on your immune response. I mean, let's face it, when you're laughing, it's hard to be angry or upset with anyone or anything. We know now, studies prove that 10 to 20 minutes of laughter a day will boost your immune system for 24 hours. So if you want to get well, or you just want to stay healthy, laugh every single day. And we're so fortunate today that we have the internet, we have YouTube, and you can find a whole host of comedy that will just make you belly laugh. And that's what you're looking to do. You're looking to really have a strong belly laugh. Let's see some other ways to turn off the fight or flight response. You can just sit and breathe. I am a certified heart math practitioner. So with heart math, we talk about breathing in and out through the heart. We know today we have proof that the heart actually sends more signals to our brain than the other way around. For decades, we've been taught that the brain controls everything. And now we're beginning to learn that that's not necessarily true. The heart actually sends more signals to the brain than vice versa. So simply sitting still, being calm, find a quiet environment, lock yourself in your room if you have to, lock yourself in the bathroom if you have to, and just sit and be calm and take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And you'll notice as you begin to do that, that everything begins to calm down. Your heart rate will slow down, your breathing will slow down, and you'll actually begin to pull yourself out of fight or flight response. Doing things that you enjoy, having something to look forward to can pull you out of fight or flight as well. I can remember when I was chronically ill, sometimes I just wouldn't feel well enough to go to my friend's house or go to a party or go to a particular function or even go to a support group. I just didn't have the energy. But when I forced myself to go, and when I got there and I started to participate, I noticed that I felt better. And when I came home, I was always amazed that, boy, that was fun and I feel so much better. So what's the key there? The key there is distraction. When you can take your mind off of your problems and be distracted, you can actually turn off the fight or flight response. And again, when you turn off the fight or flight response, you're turning on the healing response and you're allowing your body to heal. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about why people stay stuck. So this is a really important conversation. Why do people stay stuck? It's because change can be frightening for many people. It's fear of the unknown. And fear of the unknown can throw you right into fight or flight. So, for instance, sometimes I work with clients who they choose not to do the work because they don't know who they will be on the other side. So it's fear of the unknown. And it's only when the pain becomes so severe that clients will step up to the plate and they'll do whatever is necessary to regain their health or transform their life. This is why people stay in painful situations. People stay in jobs they hate. They stay in toxic relationships. They stay in all kinds of situations that are unhealthy and keep them in fight or flight. Make no mistake, if you're not happy, you're under stress. And when you're under stress, you're in fight or flight. And so it comes down to all those what if questions. What if I can't find another job? Or what if I leave this relationship and I can't support myself? What if I come off of my disability and I can't find a job? Or what if, big one for me was, what if I go back to work and I have a relapse? What then? So all of that is anxiety. Anxiety is fear of the future. Anxiety is making up all these stories in your head about what the future might hold for you. So how do you get over that? You can flip those what ifs around. What if I do find a better job? Or, what if I do leave this relationship and I'm able to support myself and have a better life? What if I do get well and I never get sick again? So just turn those what ifs around, and you'll find that that's a great stress reliever as well. So that's one of the biggest reasons why people stay stuck, because they just don't know what to expect on the other side. But coming from someone who was on disability for 9 full years, I can tell you that the other side is very bright, and it's very healthy, and it's very happy. And I never, ever want to go back to where I was. So if you have concerns about your life, if you're not living life to the fullest, if you have concerns about your health, about your relationships, money concerns, then I invite you to request a discovery session with me. Let's talk. Let's see what's possible for you. Okay? There's no charge for that. And I invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I post videos very regularly. There are more videos about chronic health and how to manage your health. So I invite you to look at those. Also, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. All right. That will help other people to see this video. And if you know of someone who could benefit from this video, hit the share button and share it with them. I am here to help you live the best life possible. You deserve it, and I'm here to help. So for now, I'll say goodbye, and I'll hope to see you again soon. Bye now.